Here's how the best agents in Sudbury and the best realtors in Canada choose how to price a home. Pricing a home is so important because you want to get enough people through the door, but you don't want to price it so low that you're going to get less than it's worth, because that can happen as well. I'm Tristan Richie from Lakeside Realty, and we love helping buyers and sellers reach their home ownership goals, whether you're upsizing, downsizing, or buying your first property. So I really love it. I've been doing this for almost 10 years now, and I've grown to be one of the biggest realtors in Sudbury from using some of these tactics. So let me explain how the best realtors in Sudbury and in Canada choose how to price a home. There's a few different things that we go for. I'm gonna start with a story of a client that lost 50, 60, it's not even sold yet, maybe $70,000 on their home because they didn't listen to my pricing strategy. I'm gonna start by telling you a story about a client that I was working with, one of my sellers that didn't listen to my pricing strategy, priced it way out to lunch, it was way too high. I don't normally take listings like this, but it was friends of mine. And I want to start with a story of these clients, well, ex-clients, they're no longer, I told them to go work with another agent because we were just priced too high, and now it's going to end up costing them $50,000, $60,000. This is not something that happens often or very rarely at all, but this is what can happen when you price your home incorrectly. So these people reach out, I give them a price on their home. We said it'd be worth about $450. I'm not using the exact numbers here because I don't want anyone knowing what house this is. So I said their house was worth about $450. But because the market used to be hotter, they had another number in their mind. They were thinking $500. So I know that's what they wanted. I was saying $450 was the value. We ended up having a good conversation. They didn't take my advice as hard as I tried. And again, now I don't take listings like this because it looks bad on me, looks bad on them, and it ultimately ends up costing them a ton of money. So we ended up listing at the $500. I did everything we could. I spent $6,000, $7,000 on marketing, staging, preparing the house, filming a video, a ton of money. These were parents of my friends, so I wanted to do a good job, right? So getting that high number, I was like, maybe the market's kind of hot. What if we get this crazy high number? So we ended up listing at the 500. We sat on the market as suspected for 3 months. The listing expired. I met with them at a table. I'm like, hey guys, the market dropped 10%. So we were at 450. Now we're at 425. Do you want this place to sell? Let's just have an honest conversation. They said, yes, we wanted to sell, but we won't take anything less than 450 now. So we listed at 459. Someone might come in a little lower. Again, I had the whole conversation, but they just were adamant at listing at their number. So we put it back up at that price. Crickets. Few showings here and there. Everyone said it was overpriced and they didn't get an offer. So I met with them a few months later. I said, hey guys, it's really not working. You're not taking my advice. I could have easily sold it at 450 3 months ago, but now you're even lower. So I just want you, it probably looks like I'm doing a bad job, so go see another realtor, list with them, see where you go. Now they're at $399 and it still hasn't sold yet. The market's dropped even more. So where they could have had a $450 sale price, listing with one of the better agents in the city that does a bunch of marketing, staging, they ended up with not even sold yet, but probably $385 now. So they lost $60,000, $70,000 by not pricing it correctly. So pricing is extremely important. And sometimes the sellers have a number that's different than what a realtor has. The last thing that realtors want is people thinking that we're making them list lower because we just want it to sell fast. That's not at all our goal. We are experts at listing it at the right price, where we're listing it where you're getting enough action and people to see the house, because especially now there's not that many buyers out there, but high enough that you're at your market value and you're not underselling it, right? If I would have said $399, of course it would have sold earlier, but they wouldn't have got max value, so I never would have said that. So here's what we take into consideration when we're pricing a house. Every agent's gonna come sit with you at the table and they're gonna bring what's called comparables, which are historic sales in the area. Preferably in Sudbury, we're a smaller market, so sometimes we go a little bit further out, but people that are looking in New Sudbury are sometimes shopping in Garson and in Minnow Lake at the same time, same style house. So we'll bring some from different areas and just adjust for the price just a tad. The price here is also a little bit of a feeling that realtors get, believe it or not. It's kind of weird to explain, but In Toronto, they have a price per square foot, right? Oh, a square foot of the property, here's how updated you are, here's what the price is. There's 25 other condos that sold this month that are exact same. Here's your price. In Sudbury, it's a lot different. Every house is so different. We don't have condos, different updatedness. So there is value in the comps, of course, but it's also a feeling that you get. So then you bring the comps, all the 10 sales, 5 sales, depending how many they are. And then what's extremely important and a really, really good agent nowadays will do is bring the active listings, your competition. Because on the way up, you can probably price a little higher than your competition. When the market's extremely flat, you can price around there. You might sit a little bit and then sell. But when the market's on the way down, it's just a reality. You have to price a little bit lower than your competition because they're going to see all these other houses that are listed and you want them to choose yours if you actually want to sell your house. So you bring the actives and you compare those. What are the benefits of those houses versus your house? And then there's the story behind all these comps. This is where the even top tier agents are, the ones that are buying a lot with their buyers and selling a lot. Because we've been through so many homes, I can tell you, oh, the one 2 doors over sold for $450,000. It looks great in the photos, but when you're walking through that place, you could tell it's just lipstick on a pig. It's not actually as nice as the pictures make it seem. So yes, it sold for $450, but probably could have got $475, a little bit higher if it was done a little bit nicer. But that's the story behind that one. Oh, this one had a Boeing foundation. The buyer that bought it didn't really see it. Obviously, they paid a super high price, $500,000. I wouldn't have paid more than $420 for this one. So that one was a one-off, right? So there's a story with each comparable that's very important for your realtor to know, especially the ones on your street. Then your realtor has to know, where is the market heading? Yes, right now the interest rates are crazy. So where are the prices heading? And I can pull up the stats and tell you, here's where everything is. But you know what the stats are? They're a lagging indicator. That means they are proof today of what happened in the past. So you can't rely on those exactly. You need to be able to foresee what is happening. So those stats aren't telling the full story. So for example, 2 months ago, the market started to drop. The prices didn't reflect it yet. But I was sitting at the table with my sellers and explaining this. Hey, the prices are starting to drop. You need to outprice your competition, not by much. I'm not trying to give away your house. I'm just trying to make sure your house sells. For example, that last one that we were talking about. So we need to price it just at the right price that you're getting enough action, you're getting people through, and then someone will come in and hopefully give you a round asking. Over asking is awesome, but now there's only about 15 to 20% of homes going above asking, and those are ones that are super underpriced and they don't actually end up at the full value that you could get. It's just to get a quick sale. And then your educated realtor will also know how many buyers are out there. Us that do a lot of business, we have listings. We know how many people are showing these listings, and it's dropped dramatically. And these buyers that are looking, they're looking for deals. As a knowledgeable agent, we need to know this, that buyers are out there. Let's say we are expecting 10 to 12 showings per week, or for the first week, I should say, of active buyers. But out of those active buyers, there's not that many that are like, I need to jump on something right away. We're seeing them wait longer and longer to purchase a house. So all these factors come into play when I walk into your home to give you a price, or when experienced realtors walk into your home. And then when I said it's like a feeling that we get is, yes, we know all these numbers like the back of our hand. We bring them to show you, to explain what our reasoning is. And then it's also a feeling of walking through the house, the layout. We know what buyers are going to be feeling when they walk through your house because we've walked through so many. We get their feedback at the end of every showing. So we know what they don't like, kind of the feeling. Like I said, there's some houses that are dated, but you get this feeling of just like well-maintained, solid house. Those will always go for a small percentage more, because they feel like a solid house. You could have the exact same house that was tenanted, exact same foundation, parquet flooring, old kitchen, and it'll sell for $20,000 less just because there's a little bit of scuffed up baseboards and all that. So that's something I would explain. You could choose to fix it, spend a little bit of money, or not, or just list it at the price that it's worth at the time. But right now, especially, being on the market could cost you thousands. So pricing is extremely important. So that's everything we go through. If you're choosing an agent to list your home, that's what they will be going through with you at the dining room table. If you're looking to sell your house and you want an experienced agent that's also innovative and does a ton of marketing, we are industry leaders and we love helping sellers and going through the whole process and holding your hand. And we would love to work with you. So everyone, thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.